Are you okay?
Not yet.
We now join General Hospital in progress.
Behind me?
Well, Grandfather, in the meantime, you just remember that we're behind you in every sense of the word. You hang on to that.
Thank you, AJ.
You've got the truth on your side. It's the best weapon you could have. Use it.
Edward, where is everybody?
I told them to stay home.
Why would you do something like that?
I will not have my family rearrange their lives to accommodate this media circus.
It would have been nice to have a nice show of support here.
They can support me just as well from a distance.
You have to consider these things, Edward. Juries are observant and critical. The defendant's family present in the courtroom says something to them.
But they'll just have to hear it from somebody else. Milton, there are limits. Now, I may have no choice about putting myself before the public, but I don't have to exhibit the whole clan. Certainly not Lila. I'm worried enough about her as it is. Now, too many things have been happening lately and too short a period of time, and I will not subject her to watching that DA try to rip me apart.
You're not losing your nerve, are you?
Hell no. And I can hardly wait for a chance to tell my side of the story for a change. And I'm particularly excited about getting to that part about Jack Boland, the snake.
Go easy on him, Edward.
Why should I?
Because it won't play, Edward. Shifting the blame to a homicide victim.
Oh, so now he's the victim.
It's strategy, Edward. Something we are rethinking, by the way. Relying on an unknown connection between Boland and Frank Smith may not have the impact, considering they both had the bad taste to get themselves murdered in the middle of the trial.
To hell with your strategy. Now, I intend to tell the truth. And I really don't care how it plays. Now...
How would you like some coffee? I've got regular, I've got decaf, I've got Colombian, Hawaiian, Puerto Rican.
No, thank you.
Well, how about some herb tea then?
I'm fine. Okay. Aren't you supposed to be at the courthouse?
Oh, well, no, actually, I assigned one of my eager up-and-comers to stand in for me today. Why, am I driving you crazy?
No. It's just that I don't want you to drop everything to babysit Lucky and me. We really are used to muddling through.
You think that's what I'm doing? Well, honey, you just get that right out of your head right now. No, I've been planning on repapering those kitchen shelves for months, and some way I never get around to it. Today I got up and I bound and determined that I was going to get this thing done, and... Don't give me that look.
Stephanie.
Just don't give me that look, okay? So I thought I'd stay around here today in case you needed something. Sue me.
Why don't I just hug you instead? Thank you so much. Thank you.
Have you guys heard anything from Dad? You know what I was going to do? I was just going into the kitchen right now to get us some food. Is anybody interested?
Well, yeah, I'm always interested in food made by a real cook. You know, Dad's kind of getting this with the food thing. I've had a pretty steady diet of him lately.
Well, I may be in there a while because Sean and I are just kind of hitting this, and I don't have a clue what's in there, okay?
Okay. I'm not in a hurry. Come on, Mom. You want to tell me what's going on?
Okay, Sean and Sonny got back from Puerto Rico this morning after you went back to bed.
Why didn't you come up and wake me? Dad's upstairs?
No, honey, no.
What?
Dad's not upstairs. And they told me what happened.
Well, if it isn't Eddie Mang.
The name's Ned Ashton for the purpose of this meeting.
Well, I didn't realize that we were having a meeting.
It just started. I'm here to buy you out of L&B.
General Hospital, brought to you by Welch's 100% grape juice. It's just too good to gulp.
You been watching cartoons this morning? What's up with you?
It's no joke.
Well, it's a joke to me.
Sonny, I want you out of L&B Records.
Well, let me tell you something, Nancy. Sometimes we want things in life. Years go by and we still don't get them. It's called too bad.
I've done some checking, and I think $175,000 is a nice, tidy sum. It'll give you a nice, healthy return on your initial investment, and it's a figure that I can live with. So I'll write you a check immediately, and you can be on your way.
You check your horoscope today?
I beg your pardon?
Well, I'm willing to bet it says today is your lucky day because I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I realize people aren't responsible for their actions when they've been up all night. So I won't take offense to you coming in here with this disrespectful attitude. But don't relax too much. It's been a rough week.
Oh, I know that. No, I know that because I was there. Brenda was there. My wife was there. Kidnappings, plural, mind you. Guns, threats against lives.
And if my memory serves me correctly, you were also there when I explained the whole story to Donnelly, and I don't intend to do it again to you.
Donnelly may be able to sleep better at night, but I'm not, okay? Because I will not leave the people that I care about at the mercy of your thugs and goons.
You know, this is unbelievable. You're a bigamist, Ashton. You come from a family full of blackmailers and murderers. You're in no position to get in my face about anything. Now, let me wind this up because it's beginning to be a big waste of my time. L&B is a legitimate business. My partners know that, and now I'm telling you. As for the recent developments and everybody being upset, that's something that I'm going to deal with, not you. The only thing you need to concern yourself about is L&B is not for sale. So I suggest you wave your money at somebody who's impressed by it. Now, check out the front door. It hasn't moved since you've been through it.
I won't let you hurt Lois.
Goodbye, Eddie.
Mr. Morgan, I'd like to turn your attention to the bullet recovered from the tree in the Spencer's backyard. Was that bullet fired from the Luger, identified as State Exhibit D, and established as belonging to Mr. Edward Quartermain?
Yes.
Have you determined the bullet to be the one that killed Bradley Ward?
No, sir.
But surely you've run tests.
To the extent that we're able, yes. But without knowing Bradley Ward's exact position at the time of the shooting, or the angle from which the bullet was fired, there's no way to state with absolute certainty that this particular bullet is the one that killed him.
Thank you, Mr. Morgan. No further questions.
Mr. Morgan, you did examine the tree, did you not?
Yes.
Thoroughly?
Yes.
Find evidence of any other bullet?
No.
You're familiar with Mrs. Ward's statement as to where she discovered her son's body?
Yes.
And where was that, Mr. Morgan?
She said he was sitting on a bench in front of the tree.
You think she made that up?
Of course not.
Well, then, assuming Mrs. Ward was telling the truth and going by your own expert examination, would you please tell this court where else the fatal bullet might have gone, if not into that tree?
I'm going to object, Your Honor. That calls for speculation on the part of the witness.
I'll rephrase. All things considered, can the bullet from Edward Quartermain's Luger be ruled out as the one that killed Bradley Ward?
No. Not without an eyewitness to testify as to where the shot came from.
Uh-huh. So what you're offering us here is your highly paid, educated guess.
Objection.
Withdrawn. I have nothing further for this witness.
So, wait a minute. These guys came and took Brenda?
Yes. And you know your father, Lucky. He would never, ever abandon Sonny.
Well, what happened?
Well, Sonny got Brenda back. And they all managed to get onto a boat that Dad had waiting there for them. And, Sonny took the wheel. And your dad went back to cover the rear. And he was shot. And he fell into the water. And Sonny went back for him. And you know what?
What?
Your dad looked him right in the eye. And he said, get out of there. And that's the last anyone's seen of him, Lucky.
No, it's not true. No, Lucky, it's not true.
Please, honey, please don't do that. Please, please. Come on, let me hold you, please. It's not true. Oh, honey, I'm sorry. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
I'll be fine. Has anyone found the body?
No, honey.
Well, that proves it. If he were dead, they would have found the body by now. It's been long enough. So, he must have made it back to shore. Yeah. He made it back to shore, Mom. He's a great swimmer. Come on. It could have happened that way.
Yes, although no one's seen him.
Mom, he's hiding from guys with guns, okay? He's laying low. You believe that, don't you?
Yes, Lucky, I do. I believe that.
And there's nothing to worry about. He knows when it's safe to come home. He just wants us to wait it out. I gotta go back to school.
Honey, no. Honey.
Tiffany, I'm sorry about
You can stay home for the rest of the day if you want, Lucky. How is he? He's brave. He's scared. And angry. I think he's angry. He doesn't believe that Luke is dead. I don't think I do either. I don't believe that he would leave us like this. I think if he had, I would know.
Oh, Mr. Ward, good work. You're not defending for the committee.
No statement at this time.
Oh, we're just trying to do our job, man. Hey, do you believe that your grandfather is innocent?
We don't have anything to say to you.
Do you believe
we
you'll
don't
get a fair
have
trial?
anything to say to you. Get out of my face.
But the committee
No
needs
comment.
to know.
Please. Well, needless to say, I'm not exactly thrilled with how this is going.
Well, it could be worse. I'd call it a draw.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained, right?
Exactly. Anyway, I'm convinced that expert witnesses, they put juries to sleep no matter who they're testifying for. It's Father's story. That's what everybody's waiting for.
You think he's all right?
On the surface, yeah, but you know, it's so hard to tell with him. He covers everything up with all that bluster.
You know what I think?
What?
I think he's terrified.
Wouldn't you be?
I just can't believe that they're going to send Grandfather to jail for a crime he didn't commit. I mean, I can't let myself believe that.
I think that's a commendable attitude, AJ.
You do?
I do. Right now, Father needs this entire family's unconditional love and support. And I'll tell you, if I've learned nothing else, faith is a very powerful tool.
Well, then I think I better keep some of it for all of us.
Ladies and gentlemen, the recess is over. Court is resumed. Alan, can we get one?
Why don't we just come right out and ask her?
Well, she obviously knows that she's on the spot here. She wasn't going to give us any information about Jack Boland and Frank Smith till she found out that they were dead. I think that we should just be gentle and go easy on her, make her feel comfortable with us first.
How?
She's an actress. We could tell her some road stories.
Felicia, we don't have any road stories. Unless you want to do 20 minutes on how to catch a serial killer. Oh, man, really unfortunate timing.
Hello.
Am I interrupting something? It was the segue. You had to be here.
Trust me, if you don't want to know.
I'll take your word for it. So what brings you around at this hour? Thought that you needed an invitation.
I was wondering if either of you had heard anything from Lucy.
She's not here?
She went to Puerto Rico to see Miguel. I thought if she was going to call anybody, she'd call you.
Yes, well, as you recall, when she left, we weren't exactly on the best of terms.
Oh, I just remembered a package came for her this morning. I think it's from Scotty.
Scott Baldwin?
Well, I think that looks like his handwriting.
You call that handwriting? You should have been a doctor.
I didn't realize that she and Scott were keeping in touch.
Well, I don't think they have been. But then again, Lucy wouldn't say anything if Scott didn't want her to.
Really? That's fascinating.
Oh, that's right. You never really knew Scott. He was gone before you decided to stay in town.
But not forgotten. At least not by Lucy. I got the impression they were close.
Lucy was nuts about it. How? What?
Well, maybe he doesn't want to hear that.
It's all right. He's not saying anything I didn't already surmise. I wonder what he wants.
Would you like to take custody of the package until she gets back? Mac and I probably won't be here.
Taking a trip?
Working on a case. Manhattan. We should be going.
You want to take the package?
Sure. Good luck.
Thanks. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Busy?
Hey, never too busy to have a serious conversation with my partner. I'm majorly worried here, Sonny.
Don't be. Little dust up in Puerto Rico. It's history. Forget about it.
Would that I could, but, you know, it wasn't just another ordinary day in the neighborhood.
Okay. Tell me what's on your mind.
All right, well, here's the thing, Sonny. You know, I am not going to pass judgment on you at all. I mean, we go way, way back.
Yeah?
I mean, I know you like I know my brothers. I know where you come from, and I know who you are deep down inside. And that familiarity allows me in on the fact that I happen to know you have this irresistible attraction to the wild side of life. When you've been getting chased by guys with guns who make hostages of whoever happen to be around you at any given moment in time, well, then I know you've been taking that walk. Now, you know, I may not like that, but ultimately, that's your choice. We all make them, right? I mean, that's what life's all about, choices, right?
Right.
Okay. Well, you know, I think you're going a little too far when those choices you make are being forced on other people. Like me and Brenda, for example. L&B are not into shoot-em-ups. We can't use them, Sonny, and we don't want them.
Well, I feel the same way. When we went to Puerto Rico, last thing I expected was to be caught up in a turf battle. But things went down, and when it did, I had to act in the only way I knew how to save our collective butts.
Okay, great. Well, then take a bow, Sonny. I mean, you're everybody's hero, but that is not the issue here. You promised me that L&B was going to be your big, legit opportunity, and I believed you. You want to know why? Huh?
Yeah.
Because you are like a brother to me. And because you're the only person in this town who's always been straight with me.
That is not going to change.
Well, it better not, because, Sonny, if you betray me, I mean, I swear, I don't...
You don't have to swear, because it's not going to happen.
All right, then level with me. Are you into something that's gonna fall in on my house?
Trees grow at different rates, and in this case, you've got a lot of ambiguities. But what I'm saying is, the bullet could have entered the tree a year earlier or a year later than the time you're looking at.
I was under the impression that tree rings could determine the age of a wound.
No, not always. And not in this instance. You see, the ring structures were destroyed by the impact of the bullet. And that makes them almost useless as an indicator of age.
Thank you, Mr. McCarthy.
Just one question. Did any of your findings rule out the possibility that the bullet did enter the tree on the date in question? No. Thank you.
You may step down, Mr. McCarthy. Mr. Stannis, you may call your next witness.
I call Edward Quartermain to the stand.
Place your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please be seated.
What you said about connection, going back, and having history, that means something to me. I mean, we may not have the same blood, but that doesn't mean we're any less family. Who knows? I mean, it might even count for more. We don't get to choose our family. We're just stuck. Anyway, when we first started this business, I made a promise to you, and I meant it. I'd sooner cut off my arm than betray you. You believe me?
Yeah, I do. But you better not screw this up for me, Corinthos. Or you won't have to cut off your own stupid arm. I'll do it for you.
I'll count on it. Like a reality check. Are we still partners?
All the way.
Good. I guess I won't have to hit that golden parachute.
Whoa, wait a second. What the heck is that?
I got a visit from your boy Ashton today.
What about?
He came over, waving some money around, and offered to buy me out of L&B.
Whoa, whoa. You know what? I think my ears are stopping up on me. What makes him think he has the right to do that?
Maybe he wants to save his lambs from the big bad wolf.
These Quartermain people drive me nuts.
We've heard testimony that you called a meeting with Lee Baldwin, Jack Boland, and Frank Smith on the morning that Bradley Ward was killed. Do you deny that?
No.
We also heard that you were upset.
Yes, that's true, too.
Why?
I felt that the pressures we were exerting on Bradley Ward were excessive, unnecessary, bordering on sadism. So I asked my colleagues to pull back and leave Bradley to me.
What was their reaction?
They almost laughed in my face.
Tell the jury what happened next.
I left.
Where'd you go?
To an apartment I'd rented in town.
What did you do?
I tried in vain to go to sleep.
Jack Boland testified that about 30 minutes after you left his home, you called saying the Bradley Ward matter had been resolved.
He lied.
He was under oath, Mr. Quartermain.
Well, obviously that didn't make a very big impression on him because he lied anyway. I didn't call Jack Boland that night. I didn't call anyone. What I did was go home and toss and turn for a few hours and then finally just get up and get dressed and do some paperwork.
Let's move on to the Luger. Where did you keep it?
With its mate in a gun case in my home on Long Island.
Was that case locked?
No.
Well, did you take any special precautions regarding the guns?
No. Which seems foolish in retrospect. But it was a different time.
So the case was in plain view.
A blind man could have seen it. And I didn't make a habit of checking the contents with any particular regularity.
Let me call your attention to the time immediately preceding Bradley Ward's murder. Did you have any visitors at your house in Long Island?
Yes, Jack and Frank were there a week prior.
And after Bradley Ward disappeared, did you return to Long Island?
Yes.
And did your partners also visit you during this period of time?
Yes, they did.
So any one of them would have had ample opportunity to return the gun to its case.
Objection, leading the witness and assuming facts, not in evidence.
I'm not suggesting that any one of them would have removed the gun from its case, Your Honor.
Well, what were you suggesting, Counselor?
That an opportunity existed for the gun to be removed and replaced with no one being the wiser.
Rephrase the question and I'll allow it.
Mr. Quartermain, if a person or persons unknown had removed the gun from its case, would they have had a chance to replace it?
Certainly.
Thank you, that's all.
Your witness, Mr. Schultz?
Sonny, have you heard something from Luke?
I'm sorry. But I want to let you know that, I got all my feelers out, and,
There's nothing?
Not yet.
That doesn't make me feel any better. That makes me feel a lot worse. You know, I've got to say some things to you that I wouldn't say in front of anybody else. Why couldn't you have left well enough? You knew better than anybody else what Luke would do if he found out where Frank Smith was, especially after Frank tried to frame him for Jack Boland's murder. Now, all you had to do was conduct your business with Frank Smith and keep your mouth shut. And then maybe my husband would be right here now, where he's supposed to be, with me and with his children. Instead of God only knows where.
Hey, wait. If you think this is going down easy for me, contrary to popular opinion, it's not second nature for me to look my friends and partners in the eye and lie to them. I respected Luke enough to know that I had to play it straight. Now, obviously, I made the wrong choice. If I could go back and undo what I did, I would do that, but I can't do that.
I know that, Sonny. I just wish that you'd been a little less honest this time.
So do I.
Lois. We need to discuss the situation with Sonny.
I've already worked things out with Sonny. The only problem I've got right now is with you.
Thank you for seeing us on such short notice.
Your punchline was what got me. Jack Boland and Frank Smith both dead. It's hard to believe.
Within days of each other.
I suppose there's something in that, but it's too complicated for me to sort out right now. Would you like a glass of water? That's really all I can offer you. I never seem to get it together for a grocery run.
Too busy auditioning?
I wish.
You're not acting anymore?
Not for years.
Why not? You seem like such a natural.
Aren't you sweet to notice? When I left Port Charles, me and about 6 gazillion other women headed out to Hollywood. Bright lights, big city, Lana Turner, eat your heart out. I was going to have it all. But when you know it, with a name like Slaughter, all I got offered were slasher flicks. Did you want that water?
Oh, no, not for me, thanks.
No, thank you.
When's your baby due?
February.
I don't have any. Never got a guy to stick around long enough. How do you feel about being a daddy?
I'm not.
Guess you know what I mean.
So what have you been doing?
Oh, I own a little candy store. It ain't gonna make me famous, but it's kind of a happy way to make a living. All those kids I'll never have smiling up at me. It's nice. It's tough on the figure, though.
Oh, hey, everything looks fine from here.
Where you been all my life?
Do you mind if we ask you a few questions about your relationship with Jack Boland?
I got a better idea. Why don't I talk, you listen? I think it'll come out better that way, more of a flow.
Please, go right ahead.
Jack knew how to treat a woman. He had a way of listening, you know? He made it seem like everything I said was golden. But I don't want to give you the wrong impression. It wasn't just me babbling away. He told me things, too. Things I don't think he shared with anybody else. You see, he didn't have to be a big-shot, hoity-toity businessman with me. He could just be Jack. We were at home with each other. Which is not to say he didn't have a whole other side. He wasn't a man you wanted to cross if you had a brain in your head.
Did you know Bradley Ward?
I knew of him.
Did you know that someone was finally indicted for his murder?
No, I didn't. Who?
Edward Quartermain.
No, that can't be.
Standing trial in Port Charles as we speak.
That's not right.
What's wrong with it? Myrna, please, tell us everything you know, otherwise an innocent man might go down for murder.
Mr. Quartermain, you testified that you went back to your apartment after the meeting with Jack Boland, Frank Smith, and Lee Baldwin.
Yes, that's right.
Straight back?
Yes.
No stops along the way?
That's what straight back usually means, Mr. Schultz.
Is there anyone who can corroborate your story?
No, I was alone.
Where was Mrs. Quartermain?
At our home on Long Island.
Did you call her that night?
No, I've already testified that I didn't call anyone that night.
With the exception of Jack Boland.
Did not call Jack Boland.
So you're refuting his testimony that said that he received a call?
Well, a call may have been received. I wasn't there. But I can state without equivocation that I was not on the other end of the line.
So you never told Jack Boland that you had resolved the Bradley Ward matter?
Absolutely not.
That's amazing. It's truly amazing, the discrepancies in your stories.
Not really. Jack Boland was a liar.
Well, unfortunately, Jack Boland is not around to be challenged. Is he, Mr. Quartermain?
I just walked in the door. Why are you mad at me?
Who do you think you are? LMB is not your business. You don't have the right to take our matters into your hands.
Sonny beat me here.
Sonny should have just beat you. How many times do I have to say, would you just stay out of my life?
Wait a minute. Now I'm suddenly the bad guy? My people didn't kidnap Brenda twice. My people didn't grab your other singer and his girlfriend without their consent and take them someplace they didn't want to be.
It is none of your business. You know, I hate it when you try and control me, especially when you try and do it with your stupid money.
None of this is about control. I offered to buy Sonny out to protect you and Brenda.
Wake up and smell the coffee, Ashton. Sonny and Brenda are lovers, and I'm sure she neither needs nor wants your protection. And I know I made myself perfectly clear on the subject.
You know, I'd really like to know whatever lines Sonny used to make what happened in Puerto Rico okay by you.
You know, I'm sure you wouldn't even be able to understand this, but he threw down straight with me.
Mm-hmm. And you swallowed it.
Damn straight I did, and you want to know why? Because unlike you, Sonny has never betrayed me.
You know what I say to that? Let's hope he's not about to set a precedent.
And that is how I know Edward Quartermain did not commit this crime.
I'm convinced.
Me too. Why have you been keeping this quiet all these years?
2 words. Frank Smith. I happen to like living. And when I go, I want it to be of natural causes. Did you know Frank Smith?
No, we missed that.
Well, count your blessings. A more ruthless man never walked this earth. He made Jack seem like a cuddly little kitty.
Would you be willing to come back to Port Charles and testify to what you just told us?
Well, I mean, I would. It's my civic duty and all, but remember when I said my little candy store wasn't going to make me famous, or it ain't making me rich either? And I'd have to hire somebody to take care of it and fork over the bucks for the travel money. I don't see how I could swing it.
Oh, I'm sure Edward Quartermain would be glad to help out, don't you think?
You'd be crazy not to.
In that case, I'll be more than happy to do whatever I can to clear this up.
Good. Edward needs all the help he can get.
Do you believe in coincidence, Mr. Quartermain?
Actually, no, I don't.
Neither do I. So how would you explain the following? 1, Jack Boland comes into this courtroom and testifies under oath that on the night Bradley Ward met his untimely end, you called a meeting and stated that you would take care of him.
That's
2,
true.
Jack Boland further testifies, again under oath, that 30 minutes after the meeting, you made a call and stated that you had done just that. And 3, Jack Boland walks out of this courtroom and manages to get himself murdered. If not coincidence, Mr. Quartermain, what?
Objection! That is all I intend to sit still for, Mr. Schultz. Now, it's bad enough being railroaded by somebody that you have considered a friend for 50 years. But I will not allow you to make unsubstantiated allegations about me and Jack Boland's murder.
Mr. Quartermain.
In spite of the fact that I think he got exactly what he deserved.
Exactly what he deserved, Mr. Quartermain?
Your Honor, this goes way beyond battering the witness.
I will have order in this courtroom. Mr. Stannis, your objection is sustained. The jury will disregard this little outburst and it'll be stricken from the record. Mr. Quartermain, you will resume your seat and be silent until asked to answer. Mr. Schultz, you are dangerously close to spending the night in jail on contempt charges. And make no mistake about this, I will clear this courtroom and refuse entry if the spectators cannot control themselves. Continue the cross-examination.
I have no further questions.
You may step down.
What the hell was that?
That was Father shooting himself in the foot.
So do you still think he's incapable of murder?
Edward, you just played right into their hands.
Made my job that much harder in the process. Nice work, Edward. Thanks a lot.
Sunday. Hold on to your seats for an evening that's sure to have you reeling with video antics from across the nation on America's Funniest Home Videos. Then, when their car goes out, all the Jericho kids pitch in. But is it time to put the family wagon to rest? Fasten your seatbelts and hold on tight for On Our Own, here on ABC.